get the strikeouts. You know the strikeouts are coming, but you've got to do damage. Somebody's got to draw a walk, and somebody's got to hit a big one. And, you know, who better to get that approach started off than the first two guys in Tennessee's lineup with Spence and Ferguson, who anybody in America.
Spence, the senior out of Australia, hitting .405 with a couple of homers and 21 runs batted in. Ferguson, what he did in the midweek game against Western Carolina, went 4 for 4. Taking on a life of their own here the last month or so. The student rooting section for these Tennessee Volunteers.
To allow for more students to come to the game. And they have shown up in big numbers, as you see, and working at bat now, Clay.
Payoff pitch, ground ball, whack to the third baseman, Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a little trouble with it.
Finish that one off. Nice job by Jason Gonzalez.
It is great balance for the 6'2", 220-pounder. Lock it down the hot corner tonight. His best game of the year, as we talked about, that 4 for 4 with a homer. And 6 ribbies on Tuesday. Showing bunt, and he's going to push it foul. Are we going to see more of that?
Of Max Ferguson's skill set. I don't think they're going to do anything in the small game that they haven't been doing all year.
Just off the plate. Ooh. Boy, they thought they had strike 3.
Earning eye.
Swung on a miss. They get him the old-fashioned way. 2 down.
And Kumar is coming out looking for the heater tonight. Now, that is a fastball at the top of the zone, which is, I think, exactly how you approach Max Ferguson. The bat tends to work low to high. Look at the barrel.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I think they know they're in it for the long haul, and they're certainly not expecting to jump him. You got to go into a game like this thinking about winning 3-2 and potentially doing it late, which Tennessee has been incredible at this season, especially in extra inning games.
Called strike 3. His 74th and 75th strike.
And that mistake is the difference in the ball game right now.
Their first error in the field in 31 innings came into the ninth field. But Tony Vitello, what a job he has done with these Tennessee Volunteers. Last year, 15-2 before the lockdown. That's a swing and a miss, but it gets away from Rodriguez. Gilbert's going to sprint down to first with a strikeout, but he is the first ball to...
Balls have a leadoff base runner.
Now here's Jordan Beck. Beck, the sophomore right fielder, big. So Rocker working from the stretch for the first time. And he spikes another one. This time Rodriguez is able to clamp down.
Than people give him credit for. But to me, you try to hunt a breaking ball count. So, you know, he's 1.35, 1.45. It's not crazy slow. It's not super fast. Nice play by Rodriguez right there.
Volunteers first baseman. Fifth-year junior out of Williamsburg, Virginia. Takes a big, healthy hack, fouls it off. Finally, an everyday factor in this lineup. This one's popped up. Toward the line and now into foul ground. Gonzalez, the third baseman, and back-to-back. Another one popped up. Young, the shortstop, going back, but called off by Davis, the left fielder, and Vanderbilt.
Couldn't be more excited about what Tony's doing in this baseball program, particularly coming off of a difficult, obviously, I shouldn't even say coming off, getting close, hopefully, to the end of this pandemic. But to watch in our fans just embrace this baseball team and feeling the energy in this stadium is so much fun.
Well, I know you've had your head down doing a bunch of different things over the past 4 months, but I'm curious your assessment of the Tennessee baseball program and specifically the job your head coach has done here building this program up.
It's amazing just success we're having, and excited to learn more about the program. And
Greg Lovelady is a fantastic coach, a former competitor. I know you know what big-time baseball looks like, but obviously it's a little different in the SEC. Just curious, as you see this environment, is it easy to dream on what college baseball could look at the university, could look like it.
Really kind of continue to put gasoline on that fire and help. But with the program competing and doing what they're doing on the field, I think the fan support is going to grow very.
Florida and men's basketball. What have you picked their brains about when it comes to being the AD at Tennessee?
You know, growing up in the house that I grew up in, we're obviously having Mike and then having another brother who's an AD, my brother Brian at FAU, and obviously we all lean on Pops, and we've been fortunate to you know, just bounce ideas and make sure we're thinking about things right, which is an awesome resource. And
excitement surrounding everything going on at Tennessee, but especially around this Tennessee baseball program.
We'll do it. It's going to be a great weekend, and should be a fun night tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Danny White, Tennessee Athletic Director, as Kumar Rocker has lost his control a bit. A hit by pitch to Steenstra, and now he walks Liam Spence, and that brings up Ferguson.
And there you go. We talked about the formula. How do you beat Rocker and Leiter? You got to get some help. And how about an HBP? And then, of course, Liam Spence
seemingly lost his touch here in the third inning. First pitch to him.
Here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium.
Swung on and missed. And you could see one out. Strike two.
95 again. Again, that's where you have to trying to flatten that swing out, but you can see that fastball up in the zone is going to be a tough pitch for him to get to, especially with two strikes when you have to defend against the breaking ball.
There's the breaking ball. It stays high. 2-2. 2-2 pitch, and now a full count. Got it. Rocker battles back and gets his 5th strikeout of the night.
And this one was 96, Clay. You knew he was going back to that heater. 96 right on the edge, and that's a tough one because Ferguson had not seen anything.
Here's the 1-0 to Rucker, who can ride one out of here. He's got 4 dongs on the year. Big cut there.
1-0, 2-1, even 2-0 counts where he's going to throw that short cutter. And that is a special pitch he's developed there. What a weapon to go to when you know the hitter's swinging.
Breaking ball. Lifted to left center. Bradfield, who can cover it. Both teams are 1 game back of Arkansas in the SEC West, as Drew Gilbert skies one to the shortstop, Young. And
7, and it's a big weekend for high-end matchups in the SEC, maybe even more than most with these two series. And of course, you know, with Hart and KP doing those games over on SEC Network, I don't know why anybody would tune into that. Maybe just put it on ourselves.
Jordan Beck, control issues in the third inning. We'll see how he responds. It looks like so. Beck.
Yeah, he's talking to himself a little bit in this one. I've noticed. Look, he maybe is kind of found his rhythm since the walk or the hit by pitch and the walk. But I'm noticing a little more swag, a little more conversation with himself. A little stare down at Jordan Beck right there, and I think Mr. Rocker's starting to feel the flow a little bit. Just a paint piece on the outside edge, looked like a little short cutter. And that is dirty. And then
I'm gonna bring up Lipsius. And on one pitch, he lifts one into short center field. It is a 1-2-3 inning. For 3 years was the defensive line coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. So young Kumar definitely knew about the program. He was sold, and that's where he ended up. Called strike 3 on the outside edge. Darren Spagnardi, the home plate umpire, rings up Pavoloni. And that Tennessee dugout and Lindsey's legends are not happy about it.
Well, I think what's weird about it is Rodriguez makes it look worse than it is because he's calling for it high and to catch it, which makes it look really bad from the dugout. But definitely a call that looked like it went the Commodore's way right there.
And you were talking about framing pitches earlier, and he didn't do Rocker any favors, but got the benefit of the doubt.
Good a job the catcher receives the baseball, but every so often a guy will throw a pitch to it.
Up there now, they really like Booker out of South Haven, Mississippi, just south of Memphis. They love his bat speed. Quite able to get around on that one. Count rides along at 1 and 2. It was between Booker
hitter, and I'm guessing he's thinking the lefty's going to have a better chance against the breaking ball of Rocker than the right-hander Russell. But they think very highly of Booker. They think this kid has got a chance to play in the big league.
Sophomore out of Liberty, Missouri. Hit by a last 7 games with 6 doubles. He's done a nice job in the field and at the plate. Ropes this one through on the left side.
Bottom of the 5th. But not only do you get the first hit out of the way, but now you bring Spence up, who we know just how tough an at bat he is on every pitcher he faces.
And Spence jumps on the first pitch, gives it a ride. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Thomas calls everybody off in front of the warning track and makes the catch. Just enjoying this pitching exhibition we're seeing tonight. Kumar Rocker came into the night with 73 strikeouts, 3rd in the SEC, and he's got 7 more tonight. That brings his total to 80. You see Jack Leiter leading the league at 84. We're going to get a chance to see him tomorrow afternoon in Game 2 of this series. Max Ferguson leading it off for Tennessee, and Gilbert 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Rocker otherworldly, and now I think everybody believes he is going to be the first pick in the 1-2 in the MLB draft. That could change this year.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it might. We'll see how the draft unfolds. Of course, the draft a little later this year than it's been in the past, not till July this year. 3 for UCLA. What was that, back in 2010? And so there's precedent for 2011. I'm sorry. Yeah. The company that these two are in, they're just that talented.
2-2 to Ferguson, who was struck out twice tonight. And he's battling here. Aces. And he brought up names like Pryor and Strasburg and Trevor Bauer. And this one is lifted to right field, fairly deep. Thomas goes over and
ever, as far as if you're just scouting each pitch for what you would rate each pitch, right? I mean, the fastball was 100, the breaking ball was top to bottom, the changeup looks like it's in the top 3 of a Major League Baseball rotation. And the way Leiter has looked this year, I mean, he kind of reminds me of the kind of guy that could make a splash up in 2 years from now. He's starting the All-Star game or, pitching in the All-Star game. His stuff just seems like it is that explosive.
Jake Rucker behind in the count, 0-2, and he is made quick work of by Kumar Rocker.
Yeah, he's starting to let the Tennessee boys know about it. Watch how long this look is. This is a long look in here after the punt, where it looked like they maybe had him on the ropes, and from that moment on, it has been a strike fest, and he seems to have grabbed a...
Tennessee has had 4 base. One of those base runners was on a strikeout in the pass ball, but this one is raked into right, but right at Thomas and Drew Gilbert.
And the passion surrounding this team and this program, and part of that passion, and you're hearing the fans all riled up right now, is because of the care factor that they see night in, night out from Tony Vitello. And you can tell he's energized the place in a night where a star ace has kind of quieted the crowd down for most of the evening.
Now Rocker has the 1-hitter through 6, as Beck, Lipsius, and Pavoloni will hit here in the Tennessee 7th. Well for South Carolina earlier this year, where Mark Kingston got thrown out, and it strategically played into the Gamecocks' advantage in Game 3 against Vanderbilt. to Gonzalez. One down. 6 foot. A lot of first basemen are 6'2" and taller, and they've got a lot of extra reach, but he just used all of his length to get to that one, and that's why you have a big, oversized first baseman.
The best first basemen spend their time working on balls in the dirt and using the edges of the base.
Rocker with just 1 hit allowed. The biggest threat that Tennessee had in this game was back in the 3rd inning when he hit the 9-hole hitter Steenstra and walked Spence. But he was able to work around that trouble. Is lifted to left. It's carrying back there. Davis going back on the warning track. He'll make the catch for out number.
Finally is able to haul that one in on a near miss there from Luke Lipsius.
There's Pavelloni. Was that maybe a strategic ejection where he knew he was
trying to stand up for his guys, but something tells me that throughout the course of that interaction, something out walking away.
Lined, and that's a base hit. A 2-out base hit for Connor Pavelloni. He has always had a role with this team. He's got 6 homers on the year. I mean, if he can run into one.
Innings, 3 runs against this incredibly talented Vanderbilt lineup is a fantastic job by Chad Dallas, and his offense is still in the game because of it. Like Tennessee still has a puncher. It's not going to happen. You're probably not going to string together a whole bunch of hits, right? To score on Rocker, it's got to be a bloop and a blast or a walk and a homer or 2-out knock and maybe one big swing of the bat by somebody coming off the bench here.
Pavelloni will scamper to 3rd. By Pavelloni, the 119th extra base hit for Tennessee this year. 2nd in the SEC only to Vanderbilt. This one is hit fairly deep to right, but it's going to stay in the yard. Thomas camps under it and